What's up guys, welcome back to another Destiny 2 Forsaken review video, and today's we'll be going over that new Gunslinger Hunter subclass, the Way of 1,000 Cuts. Let's quickly go over the perks. So it comes with Blade Barrage, vault into the air and unleash a volley of solar charged explosive knives. Next we have Knife Trick, throw a fan of flaming knives that burns targets on hit. Then we have Playing with Fire, destroying and burning enemies recharges Knife Trick more quickly. And then we have the Burning Edge, while enemies burn your dodge ability recharges faster. Now, how to obtain. To unlock this new subclass path, you must obtain a Seed of Light, which can be found from a few sources. Basically, there's a milestone during the Forsaken campaign that you can complete for Ikora, Blind Well Tier 2, and higher completions. After you complete them, there's an RNG drop. There's also an RNG drop from the Last Wish raid as well from completing one of the encounters or something like that. I got one of mine from there. Or you can get it from meeting Marasov in the Queen's Court on the 3-week rotation. So here's a summary of my thoughts on the perks. So Blade Barrage, this is the alternate super for the Gunslinger Hunter. So instead of having a precision super like the golden gun that you can run around with, smack people across the map, but you can only get one at a time, right? So this is more of a, I don't want to say, I hate saying panic super. It kind of is a panic super, Blade Barrage is, but it can also be used as a DPS super. Plus you can take out multiple enemies at once, which is pretty solid. Next perk is Knife Trick. This is like the same as the normal throwing knife that you can use, except you throw out 3 and you can burn multiple targets. You'll see how there's some like synergy with the melee here with the other 2 perks. So Playing with Fire, every time you get a kill with Knife Trick, it recharges it back faster, and you can stack it up 3 times, so the higher you get it, the quicker you get your knife back. So you can get your melee back pretty quickly and can keep this like perk chained forever as long as you can just get kills. So the Burning Edge is the last one. When enemies are burning, your dodge recharges faster. Pretty self-explanatory. So if you have on, like, let's say Gambler's Dodge, and you can't get your Knife Trick melee back in time before Playing with Fire goes away, you can dodge near an enemy, get it back, get a knife kill, and guess what? You can keep chaining those kills. So we'll be going over PvE. First up, you need to have on Shards of Galanor for PvE activities. I know it's hard for people to get Forsaken Exotics. I know for myself, I do not have these yet, but every kill and hit you get with Blade Barrage will return super energy. So the more enemies you kill and hit with this super, the more super you get back. That is why Shards of Galanor are so great. It's like Orpheus Rig, except it's for the solar super for the Hunter. So I want to go over the Knife Trick, Playing with Fire, and the Burning Edge. So these perks are all made to synergize with each other. You get some Knife Trick kills, have Knife Trick recharge back faster with Playing with Fire, and if you need to use your dodge, you'll get it back faster when your Knife Trick is burning enemies. It's a melee-based build. Literally 2 out of the 4 perks are made to synergize together. The other one's just like a little bonus right there, so you can get your dodge back a little faster. So it's effective for taking out a lot of ads and potentially throwing a few knives at the boss. Obviously for the super, again, it's either a DPS super or it's something to take out a lot of ads that are clumped together. I know in the Blind Well, you can actually use the super and take down the shield when you have the Harmony buff on. Take it down on 1 hit versus those other supers, which it takes 1 or 2 tries to actually take them down if you're going to use a super on the shield there. So this thing pumps out a lot of damage, and guess what? Wipes out a bunch of ads if you feel like it. PvP wise, in the Crucible, it's definitely a little lackluster in my opinion. Like, don't get me wrong, I really like the super itself and all the animations for the subclass path, like the throwing knife and stuff like that, but you have to really look at what perks the super comes with and how it can be efficient in a PvP setting, right? It's almost like the situation with the new Solar Titan super, the Burning Maul, right? Where the majority of the perks are strictly tied to that melee ability, right? You have the throwing hammer, and then when you pick up the hammer, you get your ability back. That's 2 out of the 4 perks that are taken up, right? So Knife Trick does a good amount of damage, and the burn effect from them activates the Burning Edge, so you can get your dodge back more often, which is great, but there's barely any chance of Playing with Fire, like, to be used at all in a Crucible setting unless you put on like 3 melee cooldown mods and constantly get kills with your knives only. You're going to be using weapons and grenades and supers and a bunch of other stuff, right? So just to reiterate, the Knife Trick and the Burning Edge combo itself is powerful and effective in PvP. Like, I think that's fine. I think it's great. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, just stating you won't be using one of your perks a lot of the time, which is Playing with Fire. Now to go into the super, Blade Barrage itself is crazy powerful, and it's really effective for taking out multiple Guardians if you can get them like piled up like in something like Control where they're taking a zone or something like that, or for taking down like Guardians in their super. It does a butt ton of damage. You can take out almost any type of super. It's freaking insane. Plus the knives like auto aim on enemies too, which is pretty interesting. So you don't have to be like 100% lined up with the target. You just need to be aiming in the general vicinity, and the knives will head toward them, which is sick. Now here's the question, is Blade Barrage good in Gambit? I would say in general, yes, but mostly for the PvE side rather than the PvP side, right? So as we said, 2 out of the 4 perks are melee oriented, which is the knife trick and playing with fire, which gives you a lot of abilities when clearing out a lot of those lower tier adds in Gambit, plus burning enemies gives you your dodge back, so you can either use marksman dodge, save on that reload time, especially with heavy weapons, or you can use gambler's dodge to get your melee back again in case you mess up one of the throwing knives. You need to get playing with fire up to keep throwing your knives, right? So Blade Barrage itself is great when you need to clear out adds quickly from an area. So I know sometimes whenever I spawn into a second round of Gambit and I have my super, I'll just use it to clear out a bunch of adds so my teammates can go in and collect a bunch of motes and we can bank faster, which is pretty solid as well. Or you can use it when the Primeval spawns, and with all this tank of friends that come up, like you can drop some of them, you can do some damage to him a little bit. Plus, again, to go back on that, you can do great DPS to higher tier enemies like the Primeval or high value targets that spawn, and you can drop those guys pretty fast. Obviously for the Primeval, he has a lot of health and Blade Barrage isn't going to take him out in one hit, but it does allow for great damage on him. I've seen a few people use it for the invading or like the PvP side and stuff like that. It doesn't seem to get them a lot of kills, and it just gives away their position because you have to jump out in the open anyway, and then you get dropped fairly easily because people are either team shotting you or there's somebody camping with sleeper, one of the two. So it's definitely a super that's meant to deny other people when they're using their super, just to keep that in mind. So if, let's say somebody invades on the other team and they're using like a Dawn Blade or something, you can probably use Blade Barrage and take them out fairly easily, or something like Chaos Reach, Arc Strider, like a Hammer Titan. Like that'd be good to take them out so you can just move on with your day and keep collecting motes, right? So I would think the only time it'd be effective for the PvP side is if the other team is kind of crowded up on their Primeval and they're all just chilling there. I know a lot of people use Wall of Radiance so they can keep their health up and do a little bit more extra damage to the Primeval. So if they're all just chilling in there, just throw all your knives in there, man. It's going to kill them. Finally, my ranking is an 8 out of 10. Overall, I really like the class, how powerful it is and can be, and all the animations look freaking sick, right? So the only thing that's unfortunate is that it can't be completely utilized in PvP related activities versus other supers, right? So I'm not saying it's bad or like completely horrible or anything like that. I really like it and I think it's good. I'm just saying the perks are slightly underutilized when it comes to Crucible. Alright guys, that's my review over the new Gunslinger Hunter subclass Blade Barrage / Way of 1,000 Cuts, cuts. That's funny, I made a pun. If you guys want to support me, they'll be linked below. So the best way to support me, I'll take you to a 4-minute video. If you want to go check that out, that'd be awesome. But if you don't want to do that, you can always like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video, turn on that notification bell next to subscribe if you want to be notified when I drop some new content on the channel. And then comment what y'all want to see below. Again, I'm making content for y'all. Whatever you want to see, I'll try to get out there as quickly as possible. Also, we have the Discord link below. There's no requirements to join or anything stupid like that. You can just join in. We also have some text chats going about Destiny 2 Forsaken, some upcoming games like Division 2 and oh, what is that game called? Anthem. I almost said Warframe. Warframe's been out for a while, but they always keep dropping content on that, which is pretty cool. And we also have some voice chats. I know for myself, I'm on Xbox, so I can talk to people who are on Xbox. But if you're on PC or PS4 or something like that, and you do want to talk to me, you can message me on there, and then we can hop in one of the voice chats and just talk it out. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you next time.